Um,
I'll just introduce everybody. So, good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to our webinar, which has been organized by Cartula Health India. I'm Devana Gupta, Client Success Manager here. The topic for today's webinar is one which is increasingly gaining relevance in today's time, yoga at home. And the speaker with us is Apeksha Agarwal Navalgaria. So I'll begin by introducing Cartula Health India. It's a part of the Australian owned company Cartula International. Our goal is to transform the healthcare scenario in India by providing last mile delivery of a variety of healthcare services. We have launched two applications on the Google Play Store, a telemedicine app that connects doctors and patients, and Cartula Janani, a free pregnancy and childbirth tracker. These are freely downloadable and are benefiting users across the nation. Now, about today's webinar, which is on yoga at home, our esteemed speaker is Apeksha Agarwal Navalgaria. She is a certified yoga instructor from India who is currently living in the United Kingdom. She is the winner of Mrs. India Mumbai International 2017 and the subtitle holder of Mrs. India Best Body. She has always worked towards the upliftment of women's mental and physical well being. Thanks for joining us today, Apeksha, and I request you to begin your presentation.
Thank you so much for having me. Um, so, Good evening, everyone. I believe it is 4 o'clock in India. And First of all, I don't know what crowd we are targeting. Are you all beginners in yoga, or you have some idea, or you do some kind of practice? So, I have kept my presentation from the very beginning to explain the core of yoga first, and then go down to the very easy basic steps that you can do out of your bed or mat, and which everyone can do, men and women. My topic is focused on women today because it is also Women's Week. We have Mother's Day, Women's Day, we've just had. So our focus is women, but yes, everyone can be a part of this session and really benefit from it. Okay, so anybody who wants to answer can just unmute themselves and tell us what they think of this. What is yoga according to all of you? Like, what is the idea of yoga that you think is that you have in your head?
Speak up, guys.
Hello, Apeksha. This is
Yes,
Snehal.
yes, Neha.
Uh, Yoga is an ancient science, I think, curated or written by sage Patanjali, and it has more meaning to it than only a form of exercise. So I think it has 8 limbs. So it
Very
includes
accurate.
other stuff as well, apart from the asanas.
Okay, so you are absolutely correct. Yoga it started as 5,000 years ago. It was started by Maharishi Patanjali. He is the father of yoga. And this is an ancient science, like you said. It's not connected with only exercises. Yoga is the union. The word yoga comes from a Sanskrit word yug, or union as we call it in English. It is a union of what? Union of mind, body, and soul. The three elements have to come together to be able to give you the benefits of yoga. So, just exercise or just breathing or just concentration is not going to give you the correct benefits. You have to combine all three to have the best experience of yoga. Sorry, one page skip. Okay, like you rightly said, there are 8 limbs in yoga. Let's go to that very quickly because this is just I'm forming a base so you understand for the newcomers what are we talking about exactly, what the picture of this whole thing is. So the 8 limbs are here. It starts from asana, pratyahara. Pratyahara means the sense which we have, like all the senses when we combine together. We have dhyana, that is meditation. We do pranayams, we control our breath or breathing system. When we control our breathing, we are able to like get the maximum benefit of the exercise that we perform. We have samadhi, we have dharana, that is concentration, and also ethical considerations. Now, just doing things with your body and forgetting the external environment is not going to again give us benefits. Like, for example, I'll just tell you, lying is something that is not good. It's not a good virtue. So if you're lying, if you have in your thought that I can murder someone, I can steal, then you're not going to get the exact benefit. So you have to be in sync with the external environment, with your mind and your body, to get all benefits of this practice. Similarly, niyamas, when I talk about niyamas, that is the self-observation discipline, it is very important we maintain our personal hygiene, we maintain our daily chores, we understand that household is as important, or going to work is as important as dedicating to your, time to do workout, or dedicating your time to family, dedicating your personal time to concentration. So that comes under niyamas when you form like a schedule for yourself. That is very important. If anybody has any questions on what I'm saying, please keep them in mind. At the end of the session, we can discuss everything in like detail. If because this is just a general base that I'm forming for you to understand. Now, okay, so having said all of this that we put together just now is only possible when your mind is in place. So only soul cannot do anything, only body and workout cannot do anything. If your mind is not in sync with this whole process that you're thinking, like very generally, when we get up in the morning today, like from today, we're going to start workout, yeah. And then what happens by afternoon, evening, when your time is scheduled, ki, okay, 5 o'clock we'll work out today. By 5 o'clock, you're like, I'm so hungry right now, I cannot sit and eat. I cannot work out. I have to first eat. Then you're like, Abhi to I have eaten too much. I cannot work out because now my stomach is too full. So it's all in the mind. If your mind is in place that 5 o'clock I'm going to sit down, you will. But if your mind is running here and there, you cannot come to terms with what your body wants to do. So again, here there is just a small description of the whole thing, of how yoga is the union between mind, body, and the sources. And without the mind forming in place, we cannot work with our relationships, we cannot work with our job, we cannot work with anything. Basically, our consciousness is very important. And once that is in place, we will be able to perform our duties rightly. So, can you all read this? Is it visible on your screen, hopefully?
Yes, Apeksha.
Okay. Okay. So here, like I said, we have a lot of challenges. Everybody is facing a lot of challenges on their daily basis. Like, how do I begin yoga? When the whole pandemic started, everybody was like, yeah, we kept eating, but there was no time for workout. There was still no time for any focus. We couldn't meditate. There was so much chaos at home. There are so many reasons and excuses that we can give on a daily basis. Does that happen with all of you, where you all try to like tell yourself today we are going to dedicate time for ourselves and it doesn't work out?
I can safely speak for everyone here, Apeksha. It happens, totally happens.
So yeah, we keep giving ourselves excuses like I didn't find time, I had to make food, or we are not disciplined, we are too lazy. Like we spend the whole day being in bed watching Netflix and scrolling our Instagram and Facebook, but we don't get that time to leave the phone. We are hungry or just eaten, like I said. Space or environment is not matching. Many of us have excuses like, oh, there are kids and dogs in my house. I'm not able to find the space. I don't have a nice yoga mat. Someone will come up with anything. To give an excuse, we can come up with anything. Or we don't have the confidence to start. We can be like, I don't have any proper instructions. I may go wrong. I may break a bone or two because I don't know how to do yoga. So there are many excuses which we can encounter on a daily basis and find reasons to not work out. Now, how can we overcome those excuses? Again, like I said, mind is the focus. So our intention should be very clear. If we get up in the morning and we are like, my today's intention is I have to do this. The way we brush our teeth or we go for shower every day, if you make it a lifestyle or put it in your head that this has to be a part of my daily routine work, it will happen. Like there's nothing that can stop you because nothing else is stopped anyway. We are eating, we are sleeping, we are going out with our friends, we are doing everything else. So why do we give a back seat to our personal growth and personal development and personal health? So yeah, it is the intention. Do we really want to do it? If you really want to do it, you have to take out time, you have to plan an uninterrupted or interrupted time of the day where you can sit. And it's very simple. It's as simple as that. Just pull up your yoga mat, roll it, or on the bed for that matter. We'll just show you certain simple asanas. Just do it on your bed. You don't even need a mat. Like, it's as simple as that. Okay. So now we are coming to our main topic. I know that there are a couple of men who have joined us in this thing. So it's good for them, because you will know for yourself as well as for your spouse or for your sister or for your mother that why it is so important for them to practice yoga on everyday basis as well as for you. Because now we know that all women, be it whatever age group, we are having some issues or the other related to before we when we are young, we start with our periods and we have cramps, we have mood swings. Later stage pregnancy and labor can cause a lot of problems. You have skin issues, you have hair fall, and going forward, when you get older, you have menopause problems. So there are problems at every stage of life that a girl or a woman will encounter. And we need to, because these things are these are the pains which go through every month, and you will not be able to understand key how is this happening, how do I deal with it. And there are very simple things you can combat that with. Apart from, of course, the big issues, we have smaller issues, like we have a constant backache or a chronic pain which we're going through. You'll be applying a move or Volini daily, but you don't want to do anything about it. Or there are you are stressed out, you have anxiety. So there are a lot of things. And of course, the leading problem I would say is everybody wants to have, they are always constantly thinking that I want to lose weight. How do I lose weight? So I think all of this to some women would go in the corners, like, just come to the point, just tell me, how do I lose my belly fat? Because cut the crap, it can come to that. I don't want to hear all this, how do I cut my belly fat? So yeah, this is how it is. We need to work on all the issues, and it's very simple how we do that. I'm just going to show you the basic pointers. So for all the women who undergo period pain every month, I'm showing you some basic asanas. If you want, you can take a photo of your screen so that you can keep it for your reference. I don't know if you're recording this session. If you are not, then you can keep a photo of the screen.
It's being recorded, the picture.
All right. So if you can see, I've put here a very simple asanas for which you don't even need a yoga mat. If you get up in the morning or in the evening, if you are like less sleepy, you can just start any of these postures. There are 9 postures that I have shown here in picture, and none of them need additional guidance. Like, you possibly cannot go wrong with the posture so that you can hurt yourself. Even if you have like knee issues or back issues, nothing can go wrong. So I've kept postures which do not need any guidance, and everyone can do it. Can you all see the postures? And if you have any difficulty in understanding which posture is not possible to do for you, or
Participants, if you feel you have any doubts or you're unable to see, please let us know.
okay, so I believe everyone is getting that this is quite simple. This posture is the easiest to do. Trust me, it has immeasurable benefits, because all you need is a wall or your bed headboard. Just lie down, and this will help you with many, many ways. I'll tell you further how it's going to help you in many ways. But just for now, you see the postures. This is Balasana, where this asana is, for me, what I would say is, it is something that helps you stay young. You get fewer wrinkles if you follow this posture every day. But yeah, putting together now, all these 9 asanas are going to combat your period pain. If you do it regularly, I can assure that you will not have to go through your mood swings and your period pain. Okay. Coming to this. Now we all have heard of different forms of yoga, especially now when prenatal yoga and so many other forms are very much highlighted. It's come into fashion. Like before, when I'm using the word fashion because before many people didn't talk about it during their pregnancy or anything. Now everybody is talking about it. Obviously, because the benefits have come forward, a lot of people have come forward and spoken about it, that they performed this form of practice or exercise before their pregnancy and their labor was smooth. So yes, now it has come into highlight because social media is telling you that this will help you during your labor. So what are the benefits of prenatal yoga, which is mentioned here on the screen? It calms your mind and reduces stress, relieves muscular tension, and of course, there are many other.
Apeksha, are you there?
And you do not need guidance. Do you want to say something?
No, there was a connection error. We lost you in between. Please continue.
Okay. So, yes, these are what I was saying is these are the postures which are pointed here. Any trimester can follow these without any guidance. They are very simple, again, can be done from the comfort of your bedroom, and there cannot be any side effect. Whatever trimester you are in, you can follow these easily without any guidance. If you have any questions on any of the postures which you can see, please let me know so I can explain what the posture is all about and what benefits it has on your body. Because they're very simple. Like if you can see the posture in the pictures, you understand. Like for example, this is cat camel. You just have to be on your fours, bend your back down, and again raise it up. Arch your back down, arch your back up. I'm going to tell you the breathing pattern of this in a while, but right now you can just take a screenshot of the images if you need to follow it. Okay. Now we have a lot of symptoms for menopause as well. Women above their 45 age group, they start getting hot flashes. They start having extreme tiredness. They gain weight suddenly. They don't know what the reason is. You've been eating the same diet. Like they'll always say, "Ki, I've not increased my food intake. I've not done anything different. Why am I now gaining weight?" It's because of the symptoms that they start facing suddenly. They have memory issues. A lot of time we start telling, oh, nowadays my elder sister or my mom is starting to forget things. These are very common and mild symptoms which keep coming in every woman at a certain age, and we tend to not really pay any attention to them, or we don't know what to do about those. Bone loss, the bone density becomes really bad, and we have like so many other dry skin problems, bad hair days, we can't sleep overnight, we are like just tossing and turning. So these are the symptoms of menopause. And again, I have mentioned very basic postures of menopause which you can perform, and they will definitely help you combat those issues. I know that chakrasan, this is the chakrasan that looks, it's difficult to perform, but if you're not able to get into this posture, a bridge is more than enough. If at all at any point you have any questions, please feel free to unmute and ask. I'll be glad to answer anything from this. Now we have yoga for stress relief. Again, as you can see, this posture is repeated, which is on the wall, supported wall posture is repeated for you, because these are those postures that I've mentioned here, or asanas that I've mentioned here, that if you do it once in a day, maybe for like all of this put together for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, there are so many benefits, not period pain, not just stress relief, not just good skin, not just like putting your belly inside. There are so many benefits. So I've repeated the postures over here because these put together will help you a lot in many ways. Supported bridge is a repeated posture, forward bend is a repeat posture. So these definitely help you release stress. There's just a comical expression that we have so much chaos in our mind, and once we do some of these asanas, it definitely sorts our mind and makes it easier for us to understand what is going on in our environment. Okay, so now these are the basic postures for the back. A lot of us face upper back and lower back issues. After work, we're sitting in the office chair, we come back like, "Yeah, my shoulders are hurting, my back is paining a lot because I was in the office chair all day long." Or you just stand a lot, like at your workplace, you need to walk a lot. If you're wearing heels and your job involves wearing heels and walking a lot, most of the women come back with this problem. And if we can dedicate just about 10 to 15 minutes every day in doing some of these postures, if not all, it is definitely going to take our long term chronic pains away from us. So this is the posture for upper back, and we come to lower back postures. You can see a basic cobras are there, basic, again, the child extension poses there. That's the balasana, the camel cow. All these, if you can see, 90% are the repeated postures which help you in every aspect. Now I've given you just a, okay, this is gone. Okay, so these are just basic 10 postures that all of you can do every day, be it men, women, older people, younger people, children, whoever wants to do. These 10 postures are the standard postures that you can do every day to have a very smooth life and understanding of like what is going on in your body. If you have a general body pain or you need to stretch every day, these are the basic standard stretches that one can follow. And again, like you can see, apart from the standing postures, most of them can be performed on your bed. Camel cat is one of my favorite for your back pain and your abdominal pull. Okay, so a lot of people have this question that I will get flexible with yoga, I'll have peace of mind with yoga. What about strength? I need to go to the gym to build some muscles, gain some strength. No, it's not that yoga cannot make you strong. How it makes you strong is there are different forms now. There is Hatha Yoga, there's Vinyasa. We all know about all of them. I'm going to talk particularly about Hatha Yoga, that because the form of yoga is such where you need to hold a posture. You just don't get into a posture and shift into another posture in Hatha Yoga. So when you are supposingly asked to sit in a meditative posture, all of you in 5 minutes or 10 minutes will start to move around here and there, like, oh, my knee hurts, I need to like change my posture, I'm getting tingling. All of you will start to complain. So the idea is, if you want to gain strength from yoga, you stay in the posture. You have to gradually increase your time length that you are in a posture. Supposing you're doing a headstand, I don't know if you are good in a headstand and you're doing a headstand, you can start with 10 seconds, you can elevate to 20, 30. So it depends on how long you can hold a posture. The longer you hold the posture, the more the strength. So it can work like, if you can get a gym body just doing yoga. Okay, so this page is almost what everybody knows in yoga. Everybody knows that Surya Namaskar is the ultimate thing that all of us could have to practice every day if you want to connect yourself, or you want to call yourself like 10% that I do yoga, some yoga. So Surya Namaskar is basically, it has 12 different steps, of which you can, okay, I'll explain from the beginning this one. So we start with joining our hands. This is the second posture. Third posture is just touching your forehead to the knee, where your knee is straight. You do not bend your knee in this posture. One leg towards your arms, parallel to your shoulders. Plank position. In this one, we have our head, chest, knees, and toes to the ground. We generally keep our body up We do not touch our body. And we again go down to cobra, downward dog position, the same posture. If you can see, this is repeated. This part is with the other leg. If you're right first, second time you go left. This is a repeat posture, back and straight. So a Surya Namaskar is something everyone, if you can do 3 Surya Namaskar every day, you cannot guess what is the level of benefits that you can extract from it. Now, this requires a particular breathing pattern. I'm going to just talk about the breathing pattern in the next slide. Okay, so if you're doing Surya Namaskar or you're doing any of the postures that I stated here, like I said in the beginning, if your mind is not focused, it's not going to give you the benefits of it. So breathing is very, very important in yoga, which is why yoga is different from gym. It is different from running. It is different because you can just run without really having your mind focused on running. You can really work out in the gym while you listen to music and, do something else at the same time. But yoga, you need to be focused if you are going to perform this particular form of workout. Okay, so it's very simple to explain the breathing pattern to you in all forms of yoga, like whatever form you're following, whichever posture you're doing. Everybody keeps asking the instructor, what do I do when I do this posture? Is my breathing inhale format or exhale format? So I'm going to give you a very simple hint today, so you remember that every time, no matter where you are, whichever instructor is teaching you, this is the breathing pattern, and that is a universal breathing pattern. It's simple. So when you're towards the floor or towards gravity, you always exhale. When you're away from gravity, you inhale. So when we go down, for example, our head is touching or going towards the floor, we are in exhale mode. As we start coming up, we start inhaling. And by the time we're up, we have a complete inhaled breath. Again, when we go down, we have exhale. So this is just one asana which is showing you the pattern, but all asanas, when your head is towards the floor, you are supposed to exhale. When your head is away from the ground, you are supposed to inhale. So this will make it easier for you to perform yoga or any simple basic asanas at any point of time with the correct breathing pattern. Does anybody have any question on the breathing pattern here? Am I making some sense? Are you all like understanding the point of breathing combined with yoga here?
Friends, if you have any doubts, please speak up. It's making perfect sense to me, Apeksha.
Okay,
Very
great.
informative.
Thank you. So we'll proceed with the next slide. So we're coming basically to the end of the slides only. Now, I'm just trying to sum up by saying that I've shown you the postures. I've told you what the base of yoga is. I have told you what benefits it can give you if you sync it with your breathing. And this is for all. This is for all age groups. I've kept it very simple so that there is no barrier here that I have a knee issue or I have back problem and I cannot do this, or I'm like 60 plus, I cannot do this. I may like trip and fall. I've not given any fancy postures. These are for all age groups, for all pregnant women, non-pregnant women. Everybody can follow this with the correct breathing pattern and get, trust me, immeasurable benefits from this. Now we come to the last thing. All of you can please just shoot your questions, whatever you have in connection with yoga. Of course, this is a very wide field. Like if we talk about science, I cannot take one webinar and go like I've explained all aspects to you, but I try to keep it short for beginners or for people who want to do something at home for themselves and begin. They just needed a push. So this is basically for that. But yes, it's a very wide field. It has many, many segments to it. It has different forms. It's an old school philosophy. So it is actually a different subject altogether. I have tried to make it short and understand, like easy to understand for all. But if you have any questions pertaining to anything, please feel free to shoot.
Can I ask a question?
Of course, please.
Wait, not you, John. Is it better to do yoga in the morning or in the evening?
So yoga can be performed at any point of time in the morning or in the evening. You can have your yoga session. You just have to make sure that you give a 1 hour break before any of your meal, be it dinner, be it lunch, or be it breakfast, and you're good to do. Does that answer your question? So you can do it before bedtime, you can do it as soon as you wake up, or you can do it even in the middle of the day.
Yes, thank you.
Most welcome.
Hi, Apeksha. This is Dr. Almas here. My
Yes.
question is, could we do the asanas during periods, or are we supposed to do them before periods?
So you can perform the asanas while you are in periods also, because none of the asanas here, like if I talk about a butterfly posture, you can do that during your periods also, and it's not going to have any impact or it's not going to cause adverse effects.
Okay, and what about the asanas where we have to lie on our abdomen, flat on the abdomen directly? So is
You
there going to be any issues with if anyone has heavy bleeding?
No, it will not have any issues if even if you're having heavy bleeding. If you're not putting any, like in some of the asanas, you're putting a towel under your abdomen or your back. When you're having heavy bleeding, just avoid that. Have a flat surface, and it's not going to cause you any issue.
Thank you.
Most welcome.
Participants, you can also type your questions in the chat box below in case you would like to ask.
So I think we are done with the questions because I don't see any other coming in. Do
We'll
you
give
see
it a
any?
moment or two, Apeksha, if that's
Sure.
okay with you.
Yes,
Just
I'm
a
very
moment.
much down.
In the meantime, I have a question, if I may.
Yes, please.
Okay, for a complete beginner, how long should the first yoga session be?
So if you're a beginner and you are not you don't know your targets yet, you can start with just 10 minutes of yoga, and it will still be good. You can gradually extend your time period to 15 and 20 and then half an hour, but just 10 minutes of focus, like proper focused with breathing yoga, is going to have benefits.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Most welcome.
Do we have any other questions?
I just want to know if this whole thing made complete sense. Did you all understand the base of it, or were you having any other expectations? Do you intend to learn some breathing posture from me right now? Do you want to learn anything that I can teach right away? Any pranayam or any mudra? Anything I'm good to teach?
Maybe you could share a pose or two for us to learn.
Okay, so I would actually prefer to teach a breathing pattern because I don't see everybody on the camera. Everybody has a off camera right now, so I don't know if they are in the right position to perform an asana. So I'll go with a breathing. We'll do a very simple humming bird sound breathing, which gets you in sync with your mind. At the same time, it will calm your system completely. So for this posture, all you have to do is take a deep breath inside. All of you can sit first of all in a breathing position, like a normal, like a standard cross your leg position, with your back straight, shoulder straight up. Like we just need to put our shoulders straight, back straight, close our eyes, and you can just put your hand on your knee. All you don't have to do any mudra. You could perform this, but you don't necessarily have to do a mudra. You can just put your hand on your knees flat. When your shoulders are straight and your back is upright, we take a deep breath inside and exhale with the sound of a humming bee. So that will give you a vibration sort of a feeling from your mind till your heart. You'll feel that vibration. So take a deep breath inside, all of you, and go. So you just have to make the sound of humming bee. All of you can unmute and do so. I know that some of you are at least doing it. We can do it together. Can inhale. Great. So, for those of you who did this, did you feel a certain vibration? When you're doing this, you can hear that vibration of your internal sound.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
So, yeah, this keeps you alert, it keeps you conscious, and it is very, very good for you to be able to come in the zone to start having your mind and body connected. So, this is a very simple breathing pattern. Anybody can do it at any point of time, and it can improve your focus immediately. So, because you can hear your internal vibrations right away, you don't have to deal with other sounds or distractions around you. So it's very simple. You just do this for like 3 minutes before you can start or get into doing your asanas. It will help you stay focused.
Thank you, Peksha. It's a wonderful presentation. If we have any more questions, we can take them. All right. So this brings us to the end of today's session. I would like to thank you, Peksha.
It was
You have
really a pleasure hosting this, and you guys have been a wonderful audience. I hope you extract something out of it. You're able to do some bit of it in your daily practices, inculcate it as a schedule, and it can bring about some good to any of you, be it anybody else in your house or yourselves. I'll be really happy if it can help even one person.
true, true, absolutely. We've all learned from your valuable insights, and we also have Snehal saying thank you. Yes, thank you,
Thank you so
Snehal, for joining
much.
as well. And
Thank
a
you.
word of thanks does go to Katula Health India for organizing this webinar. And last but not the least, I'm truly grateful to all of you who have joined in today. Thank you, everyone. I'll now see you at our next informative webinar, which will be held very soon. In the meantime, stay healthy, stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you so much.